Alright. Something that bothers me in these type of situations is how people misuse terminology, which is kind of funny considering that I misuse terminology on a day-to-day basis. But the terminology that is the most abused and used and has been killed over time besides LARPing, grooming, pedo shit, everything, is the term guilty by association. Guilty by association is the terminology used to destroy one's career. Oftentimes is a smoking gun that this person is obviously a bad person for associating with bad person plus BA. Usually guilty by association only works if the person actually knows that person did something wrong and they're actively trying to hide it for them. For instance, you would be guilty by association and convicted of a crime if you work together with a criminal, like a murderer or something. That's why most people that worked with serial killers like Bonnie and Clyde are convicted of the same murder, because they obviously had an accomplice. Guilty by association is a term coined by the commentary community, oftentimes used to actually implicate random strangers for being involved with some random person that happened to fall. This term was used in Lio. This term was used for Kumu because of Kumo's recent fuck up. But the real terminology for the guilty by association is today we're going to discuss. I'm going to discuss if terminology slash, anything, if we're going to discuss whether or not the proper terminology for guilty by association is what it is. I'm going to tell you guys that most of these series is an attempt to reclaim slash fix the meaning and actually give people a more educated view on what certain words mean instead of using them and throwing them out blindly. Because most people don't realize that these terms have different meaning back then, or is being misused in order to slander someone's name or at least a reputation. This is not meant to, defend other people. It's meant to actually educate people on whether or not these words. This is going to be a series that I dub the linguistics files. For instance, now let's start off with guilty by association. Guilty by association is the act of implicating someone who is involved with a bad person. An example of guilt by association is the P. Diddy situation, where there's many people that were involved with him, like Justin Bieber, Meek Mills, etc., etc. Guilty by association only works if you have the proper evidence of somebody actively associating with someone. For instance, as far as I know, guilty by association is a defense term to use to implicate someone of a crime. In this situation, Akumu was basically happened to be friends / involved with Kumu. People who don't like Akumu and Kumu outside of the commentary community automatically implicate Akumu of the same crimes that Kumu had did. And Akumu mentioned that he wasn't aware of any of this. Therefore, that basically absolves him of any wrongdoing. It only works if you have evidence that you weren't involved with this person's shenanigans. An example, or at least a very concerning example, is the Cindy Bear 03, or Diddy Bear 03, or whoever you want to call her, situation where people have pointed out that Jack and the people that were involved with Cindy had allegedly known of Cindy's weird behavior around her friends and basically talking sexually with people. People have speculated that if they were aware of this, then they set up poor Eno for abuse, which is oddly concerning, because if that was the case, then that's guilt by association too, essentially. But the true damning evidence is guilt by association only works if you have proper evidence and if the person is actively sweeping shit under the rug. An example of this would be Mr. Beast, who, by the way, has a lot of shit going on right now. For instance, he was aware of many people's wrongdoings, especially the Chicago pedophile. I'm not sure, Delaware rapist. I'm not sure, but the Delaware dude, Delaware guy. Essentially, he was aware of this guy's crimes, if I remember correctly, and still hired him anyways. This is a concerning thing, because if you're willing to hide this information until it came out to light, then you obviously are implicated, even though if it happened years ago, you were aware that this person's a danger to children and still hired him for content that's meant for your children audience. Another implication of a crime is during the serial killers, a tag team serial killers, essentially. And the thing is, it only works, like I said, if you're aware of this person's wrongdoing. People use this terminology a lot and abuse it to the point that it doesn't mean anything anymore. So whenever somebody thinks that this person's aware of, whenever somebody said, oh, you knew that this blank person groomed a bunch of people, when they just happen to be friends with them. It's a situation that is meant to be turned ugly. You can happen to be friends with someone, but most of the time people they're friends with these people for one time, because usually they are associated with them for once, because in the case of Jar and Lyle, they weren't like, buddy buddy. They were, I'd say, acquaintance, but I'm not them, so I don't know their contents of their friendship. But they were occasionally, I guess, from what I can stand by, is that they were occasionally, around each other. They were just mild acquaintances at best. Lyle thought he was a friend. Jar only saw him as a, tool to use. And essentially, since they don't talk that much, Jar obviously disassociated himself from Lyle during his drama, thinking that he would be implicative of the concept because he thought guilty by association works fine in that sense, when all you have to do is understand logically that you can be not aware of people's actions or behaviors and you can still be aware of their actions and behaviors and distance themselves. But if you're aware of their actions and helping them in the process, then that's guilty by association because you're hiding shit that is wrong. I don't know why people think that, someone didn't know of them. They're just lying. People don't really check in on people. People can be acquaintances or just one-time friends of people and not associate with them afterwards. And they wouldn't even, you expect these people to know, even the innocents, to know everything that these people do, especially if they only been friends with them for once just to work together on something and then leave after that. It's not like everyone knows each other. And I even had some people implicate me on occasions because I was friends with some weird people that I have just only talked with once and then left it at that because I don't talk with people that much. The only people in my DMs are my close friends, my circle of teams that works on my side channel, Team Z Studios, and myself. I don't have much friends. The friends I do have are either in real life, which I don't have, it's a big fat goose's egg, or just myself in general. You think that if I associated myself with bad people, I would have been noticed? Any signs of trouble from another side, especially regardless if they have evidence that doesn't seem to line up, I bail. I was implicated in crimes that I didn't do because people wanted the reason to hate me. I was implicated in a false allegation ring of clowns that ended up being bad themselves, which, surprise, surprise, I've been warning people about for years, and they didn't believe me, and now they want to grovel and beg for my forgiveness. I've been involved with some weird fuckers that try to dox people for no fucking reason because they hate them. I also had to cut off several concerning people that were obviously interested in some illegal material, basically lowly, because I did not want to deal with that. If I know someone's doing something fucking nefarious, I immediately leave. I do not actually do that. Even if Discord is bullshit when it comes to reporting content that's illegal or unsafe to children, because then you are guilty by associating with them. Even though, that's why no one really reports this shit, which doesn't make sense, because most of the time the scenarios in this case, someone can just raid your server and spam that shit. And because you were in the server at the time, because somebody decided to come and join the server and spam it, you're implicated in that and you're in possession of it, which is bullshit. I don't know why these people on Discord think it's funny to spam random servers with this bullshit, and then when you try to report it, you're banned because, of course, you obviously sent that yourself. The problem is, guilty by association and endangering children go hand in hand together. Because whenever someone does something disgusting like grooming or pedophilia, person B who was associated with person A is automatically implicated because they know that person for far long and they should have known. Yeah, but let me just tell you something. It's hard to tell if someone's a disgusting individual if they have some aurora or some sort of iota of covering it up. There is a reason that Evil Lives Here is a fucking series on ID. It's people who notice that this person's off but don't realize what's wrong with them until it's too late. I've noticed that every single time I watch this fucking documentary series, it's usually the people that least suspect the sweet, loving, kind people that actually end up becoming mass murderers or killers. In fact, most of the times, the whole Evil Lives Here focuses on the signs of a killer, but don't realize it. Many people don't realize certain things about people that they associate with until it comes out to light because they're so good at hiding their true feelings and weird thoughts. I don't know. It's something about the mental psych of people that are able to, psych out people that do it. Which is why people want a reason to get mad at the people that were associated with them. Whether it be family, friends, associates, coworkers, partners, anybody. Anytime something comes out against somebody, the people run to the people that they were associated with, despite the fact that these people probably, usually, 100%, mostly don't even associate with these people anymore. They even, and like, before you go to these people, please, if they're a YouTuber or a content creator, please check their YouTube and see when is the last time they've actually collaborated or mentioned the creator. Because chances are they don't speak to them anymore. Which is why most of the content creators that are going down with other content creators for their bullshit is often annoyed because they haven't spoken to them and they only spoken to them once to collaborate on a group effort. I know this is going to come poorly on me if I ever do something bad in the future, but if I ever do something stupid like whatever Jar did, please, by all means, let me to fight my own battles because I'm a retard and I always flop up and I just leave eventually. The point is, if somebody says they weren't involved with that person and it's just guilt by association, you should always respect that until it becomes apparent they're lying. Because chances are, these people are being implicated for shit they didn't do. The guilty by association narrative also works on Vizzy Pop because she literally harbored someone who had a fetish for rape art and worked on that, which is harmful to, actual victims like me and various others. Guilty by association works for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're aware of it or not. If you're not aware of it, then you shouldn't be implicated. But if you're aware of it and actively hid it until someone pointed out this person's behavior, because people are going to look into people and they're going to find something they don't like, then maybe, just maybe, do background checks. Maybe that's why you're not aware of it. But, yeah. Next time, if you're trying to hire someone for your team or whatever, please do background checks. Because chances are people can lie about a lot of things. And they're sketchy. So there's no one to trust nowadays but yourself. Do background checks and do better, and don't actually hire weird people. Okay, and this is the next linguistics files video I'm going to be doing is the term LARPing, because quite frankly, this term has been completely skewed over the years, which is annoying as shit when it comes to, videos. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the background, because I was trying to draw, well, at least trace over drawings. I don't know. Base drawings, yay. Okay, bye.